So I've really got two roles out here on my squadron do. The first of those is to demonstrate UK sovereignty of the waters around Gibraltar, and I do that with two patrol boats, HMS Scimitar and HMS Sabre, and 3 ribs, and they go out on patrol every day of the year to fly the flag, demonstrate sovereignty of our waters, and then to challenge any entries into those waters by unauthorised vessels. The second part of my mission is what we call force protection, so that is the defence of vessels that are using the port, so military vessels, allied vessels, submarines. My job is to provide the force protection for those vessels when they come in and out of Gibraltar.
Gibraltar's territorial waters have been the subject of widespread international media attention over the last few weeks because of the detention of the Grace 1 supertanker here. Tell us, first of all, what role you played in that operation.
So in the incident itself, very much a supporting role. It was an operation that took place across Gibraltar with military assistance to the government of Gibraltar's request, and we were very much a supporting role in that, with some of my units being used on the water during the operation. Since then, for us, once the Grace 1 is effectively it's handed over to the government of Gibraltar, and so very much for us it's been business as usual, on the water, doing those patrols out there every day, just going through waters and flying the flag and challenging unauthorised vessels if required.
But we know, of course, that tensions at an international level are quite high. Has your security briefing changed at all?
No, so we're, as I said, very much sort of business as usual. So we go out and we've got our own self-defence, force protection measures in place, and they are commensurate with what we believe the threat is in and around Gibraltar, and that really for us hasn't changed. It is genuinely business as usual for us.
Over the last few months we've seen some high-profile incursions into Gibraltar waters by vessels from the Spanish state. For example, we saw a warship coming into Gibraltar waters and blaring the national anthem. So tell us how you react to these on a day-to-day basis.
So I suppose the first thing I'd say is that don't believe necessarily everything that you read on Twitter about Spanish government vessels in waters. We all know that Spanish government vessels do come into these waters. The majority of the time they are coming through on innocent passage, but regardless, any entry into British Gibraltar territorial waters by a Spanish government, or indeed actually any other government vessel into these waters, will be challenged. That'll either be by Royal Navy Ops on VHF radio, or it'll be by one of my units on the water, again by VHF radio, but also by our physical presence in the vicinity of those vessels, and that will be to challenge what they're doing inside these waters and confirming that they are aware that these are British Gibraltar territorial waters.
We heard some time back that there were going to be some increased assets for the Royal Navy in Gibraltar. Mm-hmm. Is there a progress report on that?
Yeah, so that process is ongoing. It's quite an exciting programme. I've been involved in it. The sort of we're at the stage at the moment where bids are taking place, a lot of contract work taking place in the UK that none of us here are directly involved with. So it's ongoing. I don't have any dates for you. I can still just say in the future, but the work is ongoing, and I can assure people that is happening.